Good evening and welcome to Coombe Dean.
We were very disappointed not to be able to welcome you to our site.
So we did the next best thing.
I'm Alexa.
I'm Archie.
And I'm Ruby. Welcome to Coombe Dean's first ever virtual open evening.
We have got an exciting programme for you tonight.
We've got films about Year 7.
And we've got Mr. Dyke, our new head teacher, talking to us.
And we have got some exciting events happening around the school.
Let's meet our teams who will be reporting for us.
Good evening, I'm David.
And I'm Lily, and we're here with the gardening team.
We'll see you guys later.
Good evening, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Sophia.
And this is the team ski event. See you later.
Hello, I'm Hannah,
Hi, I'm Tia.
and we're here with the physics group.
See you later.
Hi, I'm Meris and I'm with the art group. See you later.
If you come to one of our open evenings, it's traditional to start with a speech from our head teacher, Mr. Dyke, who we spoke to earlier in the week.
Good evening and a warm welcome to our virtual open evening. I am Kevin Dyke, head teacher at Coombe Dean School. There are three big firsts for me tonight. I have completed my first week as the new head teacher of Coombe Dean. I've loved every minute of it. This is my first virtual open evening. I've been a head teacher in 2 other schools, but I have never given a presentation like this on YouTube Premiere. We would have loved to welcome you to our wonderful site. The virus and the need to keep everybody safe have meant that it's not possible. It is important to adapt and to be creative when we face problems, essential life skills that we teach our students at Coombe Dean. I am proud of the way that staff and students have worked together to make our first ever virtual open evening possible. This is the first time that I've ever had to give a presentation in a neck brace. I will certainly think twice before going surfing just before the start of the new term. I have 4 messages for you this evening. First, I understand firsthand the tough choices involved in finding the right secondary school for your child. My son is in Year 6 now. The events of the last 6 months have changed the way many of us think about schools and education. It has always been important for schools to be safe and happy places where young people can feel safe, secure and valued as individuals. The virus has made these things even more important. We don't know all the ways the virus will change school and education. I can promise that we will work tirelessly to promote the well-being of our whole school community. The videos you will see tonight show that the care for the physical and mental well-being of our students runs through everything we do. My second message is that Coombe Dean has a strong track record of enabling students to achieve highly in their exams and achieve their career goals. Pursuing our vision of a school where confident, curious individuals are inspired to learn about themselves, each other and the world at large, whether it is finding a new job, starting an apprenticeship, further studying in our post-16 centre, university or beginning their own business, Coombe Dean students succeed. I am proud of the great teaching that takes place here and of the excellent behaviour. Have a look at the scenes in our programme this evening. They demonstrate that learning at Coombe Dean is challenging and rewarding. My third message is that Coombe Dean offers a unique place to learn. It is a modern, spacious and wonderfully green site. This dynamic and healthy environment is the perfect place to learn and to enjoy taking part in clubs and socialising with friends. Small enough for your child to be known by name, settle in more quickly and navigate the site more easily. These are qualities are a big reason why I wanted to be head teacher here and why I'm proud to be representing the school this evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of the programme. It is in the safe hands of our amazing students and I'm really looking forward to watching it with you. If you want to know more, please get in touch. We will provide details of how to do this at the end of our programme tonight and on our Open Evening website page.
Lockdown has meant many different things for different people. For some, revisiting hobbies such as baking and gardening.
We've been wondering what's happened at the Coombe Dean Student Garden. Early this week, we decided to find out.
of vegetable-looking thing. Yeah, what have you guys been growing? Got some potatoes, yeah? So we planted broad beans and we harvested. So yeah, if you see broad beans in the school menu, they will be the ones that you guys grew. So you say this one might be a beetroot?
Yeah.
Maybe it's gone to seed. Have a look, here we go, let's have a, I'll pass you the seeds. So then maybe we could keep some of these and we could plant them and see what grew.
I think it's been there quite a while.
I think that there is also a yellow one in there because they were multicoloured beetroots that we planted.
What have we got growing here, guys, with a nice yellow flower?
A courgette.
Well done.
Yes.
And can you see any growing on the plant?
Yes.
Yeah? How many have we got?
We got 1, 2, 3.
3.
And there's some more flowers growing as well, aren't there?
Yes.
Okay, we've also got one here that's been picked.
Yep.
Yeah? You see any growing on the plant?
Yes.
Yeah?
There's a beaver.
And what about there? There's another bigger one there.
Yeah.
Really weird
Yeah?
stamen in the middle.
Oh, I thought there was a bee in there.
There was.
It's flown off.
He just ran away. Okay, and just lift it, put it onto the grass maybe next to the bed.
Okay. So we put this covering down over the bed before lockdown so we could prepare the soil to plant new things in when we came back to school. Okay, so now we're going to lift the covering back and see what's underneath. Let's have a look.
Oh my gosh, look, there's an ant colony over there.
Lots of ants. Put it down, guys, just let it drop.
Bit is on the front.
That's fine.
Big slug there.
What have we got?
What are these white things? Yeah, babies.
Yeah, they're eggs.
What are they going to do to the babies now we've exposed
They're
them?
going to put them underground.
Okay guys, so as you can see, we've got a lot of work to do here. There's a lot of overgrown weeds, so we need to get this area cleared and get it ready for the next part of the programme.
Doing some sort of vegetable-looking thing.
Looks like he's got legs.
Doesn't look like a beetroot though, does it? Looks more like a carrot.
We're going to catch up with the garden team live later on. It looks like they've got a lot of work to do.
But what about a whole school? What does it take to get ready for a very unusual school year?
We decided to find out.
I think so, but I've never actually been in someone's head.
Reception plays a big role in keeping our young people safe. Controlling access to the site has always been important, but now we have to be extra careful. All visitors are asked to park outside and appointments are required. Any visitors entering the site are given masks to wear if they do not have them, and they are asked to sanitise their hands.
Now that the students are in bubbles, we've arranged the classrooms with tape at the front to protect the students. In school, we've set up a sanitising station in every classroom. This is so that the students and staff can sanitise the classroom in every lesson.
We've been able to use the timetable creatively to make sure that students' learning is effective and enjoyable while keeping them safe. We've organised students into bubbles and we've staggered break times so they can keep in their bubbles for play and recreation. We've made sure that learning in practical subjects is kept in practical areas as much as possible.
We've been working hard to make eating at Combe Dean safe, healthy and enjoyable. We have redesigned our menu to make sure that food and packaging is safe and healthy, but still tasty. We have streamlined the menu to make queuing quicker and safer. We have organised student eating times to keep a safe space between bubbles. We have also doubled our dining room space, and we have also added a lot more eating spaces outside.
We've reconfigured every classroom to ensure it's safe. This means moving whiteboards, TVs, laptops and projectors to ensure the best possible learning experience in the new classroom layouts. We met with every child prior to lockdown to ensure they have access to their home learning. We've provided support all day, every day.
The lockdown has caused extra anxieties for young people and their families. To support their emotional well-being, we've increased staffing and inclusion. Every year group has a year team leader who works closely with tutors to identify problems early on.
Team building is such an important skill and something we learn a lot about in PE.
We're off to see our PE teachers working with our students for a team building event.
We've got the team skis out, so you'll be put into 2 groups in a minute and you use your communication skills and your team skills to hopefully work together to get to the end line over there as quickly as you can. Now I will nominate 2 different leaders in each group to be in charge of leading your team, and you're going to be in charge of communicating in terms of who moves and when. Very, very simple. If this group demonstrate, okay, sort yourselves out. Hannah, you're in charge of your team. You're going to be in charge of communicating and telling them your plan of action. Is that clear? So think about how you're going to do it, what you're going to say. Okay, get your team together.
On your marks. Get set, go.
3, 2, 1, right. 3, 2, 1, left.
Lovely communication.
So what kind of learning and abilities are shown in this kind of activity?
So predominantly, team skis is all about team bonding, team skills, communication and leadership. What we try and push through our sports courses and in core PE is the value of leadership. So as you can see here, some students have really taken it upon themselves to lead their group and actually understand what a good leader is.
Oh, they're going quite wide now. Let's go. Oh, clear instructions. Oh, this team's catching up. Let's go, let's go.
Of course, our New Year 7s are a really important team.
Since the start of the term, we've been filming and talking to our newest team members.
Let's have a look and see how we've been getting on.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2.
Restart.
So, after a busy first week of school, we've invited all of our Year 7s along to a team building weekend. They're here with their tutor groups, and the hope is that actually during this weekend they're going to get to know other people, they're going to talk to them, they're going to find out about them, and they're going to start to feel a little bit more confident about coming along to school, knowing people and knowing that they are an important part of this school community.
It's been good. I'm now used to walking around the school and I know where most of the lessons are.
Good. It's been great.
My first week at Coombe-Dean's been amazing. My favourite subject was science and I've been loving it since the start.
And the food is really good. My favourite subject in secondary school has been DT because it's really fun and we've been designing things. I've made lots of new friends at school and I was worried when I came that I wasn't going to make many friends. It's been really good.
My favourite lesson has been PE.
My favourite subject is probably maths because we've been challenging our brains to do things that I don't normally do.
My first week at school was very good because I've made loads of friends, it's fun, and football's fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Miss Miles.
Then after we get through all of them nicely, then we can get to know each other a bit more.
So this just stands for North Man initials. We'll kind of talk about that in tutor times and come back to the Year 7 area.
Okay, when we do the tour of the school in a minute, I'll show you exactly where you'll be brought after your lesson before break. So that'll be with me today, okay? And I will walk you to the Year 7 zone where I've collected some of you. Yeah, and tomorrow morning there's no period 1 lesson either because you'll be with me again.
Okay, hopefully we've all got our stuff. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what we've got happening at the moment is our Year 7s have gone on a treasure hunt around the school, and what we're trying to do is get them to go to all the different places that they might need within this first week and do it themselves without being taken there, to give them a little bit more confidence about finding their way around.
This is the cafeteria.
Okay.
I don't have one here to demo for you. You get a little pad, up, back down.
And 6. So that will. The next thing that you all are doing today is you are going to do a fun quiz, but you're all going to be with a different member of our staff who teaches a different subject, and somebody who will be teaching Year 7 this year.
Nicholas, what's the other? Nice. So just
So I'm in the Year 7 break area. You can see behind me all of our students having a really nice time. They're already really comfortable with their area. We've got a canopy that we've put in to keep them nice and dry. The Year 7s are the only group that use this area.
We've gone back. The penny way keeps lighting in the mirror.
So I really like school because I've made a lot of new friends, and all the teachers are really lovely and great, and at the moment everything's going well.
I've liked how much help we've got so far, because all the teachers have helped us around, and I thought I might get lost, but I haven't, because all the teachers are everywhere helping us.
It's been really fun starting a new school, but I was really nervous about making new friends, and I made a load.
And if that's you, then you can go to library 3 to 4 and just get the late bus home.
One of the things that comes across in that video is the warm, supportive atmosphere of Coombe Dean.
The partnerships between students and teachers.
Let's see those relationships that work in science and art.
See that? And all, doesn't matter, you can always go over it.
So Miss, could you tell us a little bit about the task?
So what they're doing today is they're working with these plants in different natural forms, but it's mainly an observation task, and we're using these viewfinders to create a frame around a piece of the plant, and it's a way of sectioning out that area and not focusing on anything else in the background. Because when a lot of us, when we draw from memory, and we want to start really focusing on drawing from what's in front of us and observing, and that observation is a really crucial point, especially as they move further on to their GCSEs and A-levels. But the top part of the leaf comes in here. We're not going to go dark to light. Everything you're drawing is living. You don't need to be holding it like a pencil, same with the chalk. But what I'm also wanting to do is I'm looking straight at the plant. I'm hardly looking at the page. Just so it gives it a bit more movement, is you to try and get that bend in there. All right? So do that, and you can pick out all the light areas.
That card was too strong. We don't know how much. It might have been just a fraction too strong. So weak enough to break as the ball hits it and flies out. It's basically just a plastic tube. You can make one of these. There's my vacuum pump. That pulls a vacuum. All right, so there's a motor here, electric motor, and this is like a little pump which sucks all the air. If you want something that will just hold against the vacuum, pulling it in, so it doesn't just sort of break down, but weak enough to break as the ball hits it and flies out. Then we turn it on and it'll quite quickly suck virtually all of the air out of there, all right? Then we leave that all attached and we can actually leave the vacuum pump running. We then have basically inside this tube a massive vacuum. There's a really quick exposure. You can actually see sort of vacuum pulling, it sort of domes inwards. You actually just get something quite sharp, pop it, and it sort of ruptures, all right? A bit like a balloon would rupture suddenly. You put something sharp in there, this will explode. Air is forced by the weight of the air, the weight of the atmosphere above it. So the weight of that air pushes into the tube, and each of those air particles, basically, as they rush into the tube, bang in, cause loads of little forces pressing on that ball. Massive resultant force, and it accelerates the ball out here. And then the idea is it smashes through this end of the tube. We've got some different materials, we've got some tape, we've got some cling film.
Well, I mean, if it breaks, then just try 2 next time.
Are we going to try and see how strong the actual vacuum is? Like, we just put a figure to that. Yeah, that's probably just going to go. Like, yeah.
What happened?
One blew up, yeah.
The front blew up, in or out? In. All right. I was saying, when I turn this on, or you can turn it on if you want, there'll be a vacuum, it'll start to suck the air out. You should see that dome in. And then, and then you'll hear the sound of this sort of go down like a hoover getting blocked. What, are you feeling confident here? Is this going to hold? All right, let's see. You've got a little dome there. Oh. Well, it held. Something held. Do we know if there's a ball in there? You can peel that tape off. I didn't hear the ball fall out at any point. But nothing came out the other way.
Yeah, it is in there.
It is in there.
Yeah.
That card was too strong. We don't know how much. It might have been just a fraction too strong. So let's give it another go. 3rd time lucky. The barrel, I guess. One sheet might cover that. All right. So you've got to be quite nice and neat as you lay that sheet over.
Yeah. I've got a bit like that.
I think I'm worried about it. But it's got to withstand the vacuum pulling it. So.
We are going to see what happens with those 2 projects later.
But before we do that, let's go and see how our gardeners are getting on.
I don't know how much. It's going to take time. We've got a couple of big ones, haven't we? Maybe a little bit wider? A bit wider. A little bit. That's a good one, Angus. I think that one's...
I'm mixing it in with the other two. Yeah. Alright, I don't know what to do.
That looks great. And then come to the tray. Careful, Alfie.
Yeah.
So at the moment we're planting back some strawberries into this bed. We kept the strawberries from earlier on in the year and I've had them at home. I've been looking after them while school's been closed, so I've just brought them back and the guys are going to plant them into here. We're hoping that we might even get a few strawberries before the end of the year because some of these have actually got fruit on, so that would be a bonus. We've got 2 more beds to clear. This one hopefully will be better than that one because we covered this, so we've suppressed the weeds, but we've got lots of brambles in the other one to clear, so we've got some really hard work before we can plant up new vegetables, some things we can plant over the winter. What are they going to do?
They go into the ground. That's it, a bit more.
And it comes out, doesn't it? And then
grows a new plant.
Yeah,
absolutely. So this
okay, one more trowel of compost, I think.
Yep. One way that strawberries spread.
And then is it that little one, that little plant there?
Have you got a hole big enough for your strawberry yet?
Nearly.
What progress have you made with the garden?
So when we came back to school there was a lot to do, so we've cleared out the bed, we've cleared out all the weeds and today we've managed to plant some strawberries.
What plans have you got for the garden?
So next plans are to clear the other raised beds of the weeds and then get some overwintering vegetables planted in, so some onions, some parsnips and some turnips.
What are the benefits of this activity?
So there's growing evidence that there's a link between outdoor learning and gardening and improving mental well-being and pupil attainment. So having small groups doing outdoor learning improves that along with their mental health.
We'd have loved to welcome you to our site.
We hope this is the next best thing.
We're going back to our sports event to see how they're doing.
Clear instructions. Oh, the team's catching up. Let's go, let's go. Lovely. Oh, keep going, keep going.
So how are the teams performing?
Well, both teams have done fantastically well. From here, it's really clear to see those that are confident that step up into a leadership role, but also it's really nice to see the others have some sort of input and learn and what makes a good leader in terms of their team skills, what their role is and why it's important. Each race, every single person has stepped up and they've then improved on their leadership.
So as you won 3-0, I would like you to tell this team your top tips. So as a leader, what do you think went well?
So before we did it, we knew what leg we were starting with and everyone knew how the rhythm was going to go.
Fab. And when you were doing it, what did you do as a leader?
I made sure I was loud and that everyone could hear me.
Great. As a group, did you think it all worked quite well?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to your performance while you won?
Because before everything that we started, we knew what we were doing and we knew the exact rhythm.
So you knew exactly what you were doing when doing it?
So why is sports and PE so important at Coombe Dean School?
So here at Coombe Dean, us in PE, we're trying to make sure students are fit for life, whether it be physical and mental, whether it's their decision making, their leadership, and hopefully they go on to live a healthy and active lifestyle.
Okay, we have just heard what we think is the air bazooka going off. Let's go and see how they did.
3, 2, 1. Wait till it's have a good vacuum in it.
I think that was a bit too early.
Yeah.
Ready? Wait. Didn't break. Why did that not break? I was that for a while.
I would say that's probably, to cover that hole, you could try it. I don't know if it's what.
So what makes physics such an exciting lesson for you?
Physics has got so many different parts. Physics leads on to how the world works, how the world behaves, from the tiniest little things, quantum things that you can't even see with a microscope, up to the biggest things in the universe being the universe itself. So it's a study of everything, no matter how big it is. Okay.
So it took a while to get this working.
Yeah.
In the end, what made the difference?
It was finding the material with the right tensile strength.
So what are the applications of this physics lesson in the world outside the classroom?
I'm hoping these students will be taking away knowledge about specific materials and testing different materials, but more generally about just developing their investigative process and their thinking and way of doing things and finding out. Turning that one on, so you just wait until you'll see a vacuum, because that should sort of start to disc it.
Oh, I can't help with that one.
I'd have loved to have been there, but we're running out of time. Let's go see how the artists have got on.
Really bright, and what you can add a bit more charcoal to, and you can darken.
So what do we hope for our future Year 7s to get out of their art lessons?
The way we use art in Combe Dean is in Key Stage 3. They learn all the skills and the techniques in order to move on to their GCSEs and A-levels, to use those skills and techniques and creativity to communicate feelings, communicate thoughts, and they overall they do it in a very independent way. So they learn to work independently, creating their own style, creating their own sort of specialities. They'll go into their own specialities.
How can you describe it as a mess? I think it's brilliant.
My hands just hit everywhere.
It keeps sliding off, does it? Yeah. It would smudge on it. It is good though, you've got some good shades and some good lines. How many lessons have you been doing it for?
Just this one.
You done all that today?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We hope you've enjoyed our virtual open evening as much as we have.
More than anything, we wanted to show you the positive relationships at our school.
If you want to know more, just get in touch.